Hello, welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz, and I will be guiding you on this journey today. First journey is picking out what deck we're going to use. I do this before every reading. This is actually the deck that I've been thinking about, but that doesn't mean that it wants to be bothered. So we do get consent before every reading because I want to be sure that the deck that we use wants to actually provide a message, right? So I'm just going to shuffle the deck until one card comes out. We're only going to take one. So, and it's either a yes or no card. And if it's a no card, we just move on to the next deck. So that's why I have all these decks out here. So while we're doing that, just a quick little setting expectations. What was that? Seven of Cups reversed. We're going to take that as a no. I'm not psychic. I'm certainly not claiming to be, but I do know these cards, and my intention is to give you the message as it's coming through to me in as many ways as it is coming through to me. And also, I like to, Page of Swords, the star, okay, I think we will. We will use, I think this is the Guardians deck. I haven't even actually used this deck for YouTube readings before, so that's fun. Okay. So, what was I saying? I like to explain the cards to you because no doubt you are receiving your own message, your own confirmation, because obviously you're the one that's living your life. So if there is not a message that I'm saying out loud, but there is something that is coming through to you that is very much a message, but also at the same time, don't try to fit a square peg into a round hole to fit a narrative. Obviously use your discernment. Not everything in the reading may resonate for you. It is a general reading, blah, blah, blah. What else though? I feel like I'm missing something. I would absolutely love it if you subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so already, I'm just glad that we are both here. But of course, it does help me grow, and I love that. I do feel like I'm missing something, but whatever. If I think of it, if it comes to me, then I'll just message you in in the reading. So yeah, let's get to it. Great. So this is a reading for Aries. Finally, I don't know, I don't know. I just kind of have this feeling of I'm finally sitting down for the Aries reading. I don't know. But I hope you're all doing well wherever Aries is in your chart. What is going on in Aries? You still have Chiron all up in there. You have Saturn just went into Aries, Neptune. We have the Nine of Pentacles. Love that. It's about the path and the destination. What else for Aries? This Nine of Pentacles really does give me a stop and smell the roses vibe. King of Swords. Because we can see over here to me it feels like a goal back here, this goddess that's kind of on the horizon. And they're just here looking at this bird, I'll move these cards if there's a glare, but it's still having the objective in mind, still taking those practical steps, but also allowing yourself to look around you, right? To enjoy the scenery along whatever journey you're on. which feels a lot like play to me. You know, like allowing things to be fun. I kind of was hoping for like, there we go. One more card that came flying out. And look at this, the Queen of Swords. It's not very often you get the King and the Queen of one suit, the Six of Wands, at the bottom of the deck. Oh yeah, let me kind of move these down. Hopefully that's better. I can't see like the screen, but you know what's also interesting over here? This guardian is talking to this little yellow bird, like almost reminds me of a parakeet, which really actually kind of feels domesticated, trained, you know? I mean, they're still out here in the wild, but like when I think of parakeet, I mean, I'm sure that there are parakeets in the wild, but listen, like, not gonna try to like get into the weeds of that, but the reason why I bring that up is because in the King of Swords, there's this crow, and the difference that I'm like feeling in that energy is just the difference between being domesticated and being a little wild. I mean, crows can be quote unquote domesticated or trained too, right? Excuse me. Not to mention, crows are highly intelligent, which is probably why it's, you know, obviously on the King of Swords. I mean, you can like befriend crows. Like if you give them gifts, they'll eventually give you gifts back. Crows also are a symbol of change. I do want to read from the book for each one of these cards because I've just been loving the message that this creator has for each one of these cards. So the Nine of Pentacles says, the guardian pauses for a moment, steps back from the rigors of the day, and inhales the beauty and magic in the existence of life and physical matter. He has the grace, kindness, and consideration to the fragility of life that surrounds him in this plane of existence. The goddess's aura appears upon the horizon, radiating the power of universal knowledge to the guardian. The guardian opens himself to the enlightening energy of the goddess. He accepts and allows this energy to flow his being as he instinctively knows the answers to his questions and that of others. This card signifies that now is a time to not only appreciate the world, but to be aware of a higher source of knowledge and energy. Just as the goddess's aura emerges from the horizon, so too does the waterway create a path on which to travel, besides towards universal enlightenment. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of basically like what I was saying. Like, I love, you know, because there is this river here, right? And this guardian isn't even looking at that as being a path or a way to travel, right? But it's there. So it's again like this energy of, even if you're not looking, because I think a lot of us, and I think that it comes down to conditioning too, and limiting beliefs and whatever shit that we were told, you know, as far as like how manifesting goes, or how like energy even works, right? But truly, even if you are not looking, the right path, the correct, you know, I want to say meaningful for some reason, thing will show up for you. Even also too, seeing it from a different perspective. Because, right, like I wouldn't have looked at this river as being a mode of transportation. In the sense of being able to float down it, right? Like, so there's like multiple perspectives to be viewed on a situation. And truly, it's like, you don't have to be constantly focusing your energetic eye, your literal eyes, your energy on a thing. If you set an intention towards it and you are taking practical steps, then allow yourself to enjoy whatever is along that path, right? Like, don't be so, have your blinders on to where it's just, let me just get to the goal. Because like along the way, I mean, you could pick up connections, you could pick up resources, materials, just experiences in general, which, becomes wisdom. Also, in the traditional tarot, the Nine of Pentacles is individual success, financial freedom, independence. It is you getting to a place where you feel financially stable, where you have the materials and the resources that give you a sense of security and foundation. It's even to that place of like figuring out what that is for you. Because the consideration for others comes with the 10 of Pentacles. And also too, it's like, taking care of your star player first, the whole, being on an airplane and putting your mask on first, right? Like, you cannot help other people in whatever capacity until you have honed in on helping yourself, right? The King of Swords, King and Queen. This could be, well, I'll just say it. Like, I immediately heard in my head, no. But it could be a divine partnership. But clearly, I don't think that it is. And really, I was just saying that because, when the King and Queen of the same suit come out right next to each other, like I said, I mean, that is pretty rare. And it is the masculine energy, the feminine energy of that suit. But I do think that it's more you embodying the masculine energy of the King of Swords. Again, energy, not gender. And the feminine energy, again, energy, not gender, of the Queen. Because it is different. Like, kings are the highest expression of the suit. So they've been all the way through from ace to 10, from page to king. They've learned a lot. They've acquired a lot of knowledge. Also, too, even like taking calculated risks. Kings oversee a kingdom. So people look to them for guidance. People look to them for their wisdom, for their intelligence, for their knowledge. There's also a clarity of thought, of mind, because swords has everything to do with like the mental plane, which is also kind of interesting because Aries is the head, right? Even though you are a fire sign, like Aries is the head, Taurus is the throat, Gemini the arms, Cancer chest, so on and so forth, like down the body. So maybe that makes you like the airiest fire sign. I don't know. But in this reading, at least, but so yeah, swords represent the mind, ideas, perspective, truth, and honesty. I mean, like the King of Swords would rely on the truth. They're only interested in what is true. They're also really only interested in like what can be proven to be true. You know, like we don't have any cups out here. So there's no relying on feelings. I also see swords as being the suit of ego because that's generally where we tend to hear our ego is in our minds. And our ego is created by the stories that we attach to experiences, feelings, circumstances, and it does become our belief system. So again, right, like the King of Swords would be somebody who has an awareness of their own ego and also like doesn't really allow that to get in the way of like doing the right thing. I mean, this crow even like feels like a messenger, or it actually almost feels like a companion, you know, like something that you find comfort in. And literally, I mean, this crow could literally represent anything. It doesn't have to be like a bird, right? I think it's just, of course, obviously the imagery on these cards, and it's interesting that there are two very different types of birds out here. So let's see what the book says. Under a full moon, this guardian communes his intent to those who will do his bidding without question. He expects his instructions to be followed explicitly and expedited post haste. You're putting the fire up under somebody's ass. As this energy moves into your world, you will find that you expect things done and done immediately, which I honestly kind of feel like that feels very Aries. From the moment the words are uttered from your lips, there is an expectation to have the results set before you right away. There is no room for slack or negligence, not even from you. So, yeah. Even with this, you know, Nine of Pentacles energy over here, right? I mean, like, you could be setting off on a path. A path could be opening for you, or, again, right? Like, I mean, seeing what is in front of you from a different perspective, like seeing something that's already there as a tool or something to help you get to where you're going or where you want to go, where this like goddess is on the horizon. And then over here with the King of Swords, it's, you know, making snappy like movements. I just keep wanting to like snap my fingers. And it's probably just because, you know, this was saying like, you know, he expects his instructions to be followed explicitly and expedited post haste. Honestly, I mean, this could be you. This could be somebody else that is a connection that you make or that you are on this path with. You know, like you guys have the same goal, the same destination. And it's kind of just like that energy of like, let's just stop fucking around and really take this seriously, you know? But also, it's like the energy now is available to do that. Whereas in the recent past, if you've just been here, right? Like going down the path, kind of checking things out. I still think that is very much important to the process. Then you get to this point, because this card, the King of Swords, says, as this energy moves into your world. So if it's not there yet, it will come in. And you'll know when the time is right to start really focusing your energy and really start showing results and expediting things post haste, you know. But in the meantime, until that point, until you because you'll recognize it, until that point, allow yourself. There's a time and a place for everything, right? And you want to look back at this moment and be like, man, yeah, it didn't just fly by me like a snap of a finger, like I was snapping my fingers, like I really did enjoy the process. It really was fun to research those things, to take action towards those things, to acquire resources and materials and, get my hands dirty a little bit, right? So the Queen of Swords says, with a faraway star gleaming in her eye, this guardian looks into the infinite night glittered with undiscovered worlds and galaxies. She knows that even within our own cosmos, there is much that we have yet to acknowledge. We just accept without question and without wonder simple things to the complex. As this card appears, there lies a deeper sense of something greater just beyond your reach. There is now a sense of urgency and questioning of the cosmos and the role there within. Not only do you question your own role, but that of others as well. You wish to hold all to universal law, especially yourself. Now, the Queen of Wands is like, they always kind of describe the Queen of Wands as being like a cold bitch. And maybe, but you're not going to bullshit a bullshitter with the Queen of Swords. Like, she will cut through the inauthenticity, the lies, the bullshit, like what is not true for her or on a universal sense. She's just not even interested. Queens for me are when we embody the energy of the suit ourselves. Like, we learn to work with it within ourselves. We learn to master it within ourselves. Right? Like, we give it to ourselves. And the king is when then, we share that wisdom. We're able to guide or lead other people once we get to the King of Swords. And this like star in her eye, it's like keeping your eye on the prize. This whole thing is like keeping your eye on the prize, but also like not holding on like so tight to where there's not, surprises along the way or things that you didn't even think of or consider that are for your highest good come into your realm of existence, something greater just beyond your reach. And two, even like checking your motivation for things. Not limiting your own imagination to, because, like when I think of cosmos and space, like I think of widening your own capacity for like what you believe is possible. And I literally, I think of that as far as like with my head space and like, because truly we are only limited by our own imagination. Right. And if we kind of keep our box small of like what we think is possible, what I'm saying is I think we need a bit more delusion. Because why not? Fuck. Why not? Don't attach anything to it. You can't be disappointed if you have no attachment or expectation to anything. But truly, right? Like I always just kind of like imagine in my head the field of my imagination literally widening, spreading out as far as I think is possible. And then once I get there, I either set the intention or I push that boundary another 100 feet, whatever that even looks like. I have no clue. I just imagine it. And then keep doing that. Right? Because then it's like it covers more ground, quote unquote. Not, not literally, but energetically it covers more ground. It opens possibilities. Like, don't block your blessings type of thing. We have the Six of Wands at the bottom of the deck. I love what the book says about this. I mean, I've loved everything so far. But the book says, ever so slight, a shift is happening. This guardian, clothed, begins to step forward with her leg becoming more human than tree, pulling up from the ground that has held her stagnant. A new level of growth and manifestation is now showing cohesion. As this card appears in a reading, it signifies that now is a time to pull away from the security that has grounded you. You have learned your lessons, developed your skills, and are ready to step forward. Those who support and love you will continue to cheer and support your progress. Right? Like all of these like beings back here. But also, like, it just kind of feels like I was saying, the energy is available. The shift is happening. But also, like, if you don't think that it is going on right now, know that it is coming. And in the meantime, enjoy yourself. This is all part of the plot, right? And what story are you going to tell people when you get to this destination back here? Like, are you going to tell them that in a blink of an eye you were at from point A to point B? And like, what's between there? Like, it's all important. It's all part of the plot. And yeah, I wish you the best of luck. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.